We are back with another edition of Should You Buy This House, and we are in the East Lake Highlands area, and I have with me Clay Collins, who is one of our brokers here at Evernest. And Clay, tell us a little bit about this house.
Yeah, excited to be back again, showing another one of our listings. So this property right here, 712 84th Street South, it's owned by one of our institutional clients. They had a tenant in here for a while. They're trying to go to a different price point. So as the tenant moved out, they did a little bit of a turn, and now they're looking to sell it to either the next investor or next homeowner looking to live over in this East Lake area.
Now, listen, I have bought houses for a long time in East Lake, since about 2004, and East Lake has really changed over the years, especially probably even over the last 4 years. And I would say this is a great area, and you have a lot of interest from both residents and investors. And so why don't we go ahead and take a look inside, and we can talk more about this property inside.
Sounds great. Let's take a look.
Let's do it. All right, so first thing we see when we come in here is a very big living area, living space, which is great for this part of town.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any renter, right when they walk in, they're gonna wanna see a good spot where they can hang out with the family, put all of their belongings in here. You actually have a good amount of natural light. We have the blinds closed right now as it's a vacant property, but a tenant's gonna love to see that, a spot where they can hang out that's pretty much finished right here right away.
So you said this is a 3-bedroom. Is it a 1-bath or 2-bath?
So it is a 1-bath right here. So that will mean that the rental income is probably gonna be a bit lower than if you have that second bathroom, but that's why we priced it accordingly there, trying to get near that 1% rule, as that's pretty good thing to have in this area.
Yeah, so where we are in East Lake, we're moving up towards Ruffner Mountain, which if you are an investor, and maybe you're an out-of-state investor and you've heard about East Lake, I would tell you there are parts of East Lake you don't want to buy in as an investor, and there are parts of East Lake that absolutely you want to buy in. And so I kind of, and I don't know what you think about this, but when I think of East Lake, I think this almost like a D-class area of East Lake, and then there's like a C-class area of East Lake, and maybe even C-plus class.
For sure, and I think, you stated almost like north to south, where if you're a little bit more north in East Lake, you're closer to the main drag, where there's gonna be a lot of shops. There's the Roebuck Golf Course, actually, that's out here. But as you get deeper into the south area, that's closer to Ruffner Mountain, where the homes have been renovated. You have a little bit better curb appeal. However, East Lake has appreciated greatly over the past couple of years, and I think as more shops, more businesses come into that main drag, we may see the northern part of East Lake also start to be as prominent as the southern part closer to Ruffner Mountain. Yeah,
so in Birmingham, probably about 10, 15 years ago, there was an incredible transformation in an area called Avondale. And since Avondale, people have been trying to guess, what is the next Avondale? What is the next area? And East Lake's been on the map, as well as some other areas. But we have seen it. It's been slow progress, but it's been really nice to see.
Of course, yeah, and everything as we see these areas transition over time, it's gonna be a slow process. Nothing is gonna happen overnight, because there are probably 1,000 or so homes over in East Lake, possibly even more. So it's gonna take a couple of investors to come in here, fix up the area, have homeowners that have pride of ownership here and really keep up with the area, to have those businesses then come in and see the full transition.
All right, so let's walk through the rest of the house, and then we'll come back and we'll talk numbers as far as what we can buy it for, what we can rent it for, and all that.
Of course.
All right, let's go take a look at the kitchen.
Awesome, yeah. So Spencer, you can come in here. You can see the kitchen has been recently upgraded. You got new countertops, painted cabinets, some stainless steel appliances. This goes a long way in a rental property.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is very, very nice. I was just in an A-class property not long ago, and it was rented, we were asking $2,000 a month, and this kitchen is nicer than that one. So I was pretty shocked to come in here, but this is going to attract obviously some really great renters, I think.
For sure, and I tell all of my investors who are doing renovations, you don't have to do this kind of stuff in areas, but it will go a long way. Maybe get you $100 of extra rent each month, which could play into your cash flow and make the numbers really work for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're gonna rent it, keeping rental grade, cabinets and countertops and appliances makes a lot of sense, but in this case, if you can buy it like this, then it's your win.
Of course, of course. You do have the washer and dryer hookup in the kitchen as well, which is not ideal, but it does at least have that in the property. They won't have to go to a laundromat. You do have the washer dryer hookup. Everything's kind of centralized on this one floor plan.
Do you know how big the house is?
So it's a little bit over 1,000 square feet. So I think we're looking at somewhere between 1,100 and 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, so for rental grade in this area in East Lake, this is what you're looking at. We always say probably 1,000 to 1,300 square feet is the perfect rental, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, very efficient house. And so there'll be a lot of people looking for this property. Of course.
Okay, Spencer, so come on into this first bedroom right here. So as you can tell, we just walked straight in through the kitchen. That's fine. If you have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, maybe if it's just a couple living here, they might want to use this as an office space. However, you might be able to get a family in here and actually use this as a bedroom. So a simple value add for an investor would maybe you just block off this door. That way it's not right up next against the kitchen. You feel a little bit separated from that aspect of the house and have more of the bedroom feel.
Yep. But apparently it was rented with this beforehand, so it is, you know.
So that's just a way to add value here. This one had a tenant in place for a long time. They moved out and the turn was pretty simple. There wasn't really too much to do, just minor touch-ups, try and get someone else in here or sell to the next investor.
Something I do want to point out also is it does have new windows, and some of these windows are newer windows. They're not original windows with the house, and so that's going to be good for efficiency. If your resident has a lower utility bill, lower heating and air, then that's obviously a positive for them.
Of course, and as Spencer was saying, you know, parts of East Lake definitely are D-class, even some C, but that does mean a lot of tenants might want to do Section 8 here. So having new windows, that's going to help you pass your Section 8 inspection right away, something that you won't have to repair over time. Even if they don't flag it on the first one, they might flag it the next year. So having those new windows in place is going to go a long way.
Yeah.
So as you make your way to the back side of the house, you do have 2 bedrooms on either side, very similar to that last one. But right here, you have the 1 bathroom. As you can tell, it's already renovated. You have new flooring in here, a new vanity right here, new toilet. So this is ready to go for a renter. Nothing more they're gonna ask for. This is exactly what they're looking for in this kind of house.
All right, so that's it. That's the tour of this property. And now we just got to answer the question, should you buy it? And I would say this is up to the individual investor. So what's the price for this property here?
So we currently have this one listed at $112,400. It was previously rented before repairs were made at $1045 a month. And you have homes over here ranging from $100,000 all the way up to $200,000. So you have, you know, a comp that just went live on the street behind us for $200,000. Realistic ARV for something like this, someone comes in, adds some value in some of those areas we touched on, it's probably gonna be around $135, $140. So if those numbers make sense for you, this could be a perfect buy in a transitioning area to hold for the long term.
Yeah, if you're planning on holding this property for the long term, I think 114 makes a lot of sense. If you can rent it around that $1,000 to $1,100 mark and find a great resident, they stay here for a long time, and you watch the appreciation of the area of the property, and then probably of the rent as well.
Of course, yeah. Each year you're going to pay down that loan. If you do finance it, rent's definitely going to keep going up in this area, and you're going to be able to see a lot of the homes around you also transition and have some value added to them as well.
All right, so if somebody was interested in this property, not saying it's available, if you're watching this, we don't know if it's going to be on the market when you're watching this, but how should they get in touch with you?
So you can reach out to me with my cell phone, 205-563-3054, or you can shoot me an email at ccollins@evernest.co. Would love to talk to you about this opportunity and some other more that this investor is also selling as well.
And if you like this type of video, let us know in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and we'll produce more content like this in the Birmingham market and other markets, just for investors who are looking and wondering, should they buy these investment properties?